do we have any visibility from Zoom on what the hybrid model will look like?
Not as much as I think the average investor would like to. And you see that in the shares selling off once again after this earnings report. It's kind of unclear. I think they were putting a lot of their eggs in the 5.9 basket, and to them, I think it kind of fell through unexpectedly. From a 5.9 standpoint, it made total sense of why they voted this down. The shares were down, over 25% since the deal was announced, and it was going to be an all-stock deal. So it made total sense that the deal was voted down by 5.9 shareholders. And now I think the company's really scrambling to figure out, how do we either look to a new acquisition, or do we, try to develop this in-house and just pour R&D dollars into it? And I think they're really kind of looking for answers and trying to figure out also where the market is going to head. I think hybrid work is definitely here to stay, but they can't rely on that for future growth.
So, having said that, I mean, it sounds like, oh my God, life after lockdown, nobody's going to be using Zoom anymore. People are going to be actually talking to other people live, etc. And Zoom is going to suffer. So you've got a hold, I know, on Zoom. Target price set $350. And I'm looking at some of the growth numbers you're expecting. Last year, FY21, that is, 326% growth. This FY or next FY, FY22, only 51.5% growth. But then I take a look at your price target, 350, we're at 242 now. That's 44% upside. Is my math wrong?
No, it's, we were kind of waiting for this earnings to come out to really reevaluate our stance on the company as a whole. Last quarter, obviously it came in, it beat expectations, but the guidance was so soft, and the stock price got hammered. They were down over 20%. And so, volatility is a very big player in a name like Zoom. And so you can see these kind of swings that, we're looking for the trends in the data before we can make a firm call on it. We're quite happy with a hold right now. We do think that this is a very well-run company. They can turn things around. And, even turning things around, that's, coming down from, again, 350% growth and still growing 35% this quarter. Those are numbers that any company would be envious of. And so it's really, going back to what is Zoom 2.0? How do they basically take this incredible success they saw in the last 18 months, and how do they monetize that going forward? How do they turn this into a win for the company? And how do they really convert this into a very large, especially in the enterprise space, those are valuable customers. How do they keep their market share? How do they fight off Cisco? How do they fight off Microsoft? It's really all about how the company moves forward and how they kind of leverage the success they had, and then, turn that into the next 300% revenue gain going down the road.